Like, I know this one dude, he was talking about Three Eye Atlas. He called it Three Eye Atlas Shrugged. I was like, oh, that's kind of good.
What?
Yeah, because Atlas Shrugged, I don't know. It was pretty fun. I was like, okay.
All
I see what
right.
you did.
Isn't
All
Atlas
right.
Atlas is a transformer? I'm pretty sure too.
I wouldn't be surprised because those are based off of the same. You know, the Transformers is based off the Atlantean gods, right? It's a robotic alien version of the Atlantean gods that we talked about. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
There's the good ones, the Autobots, and then there was the Material Kings we talk about. That would be the Decepticons.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
What they embody in the show, but then of course they make it into a whole Hollywood thing.
Yeah, because it was like the lores, like whatever the fuck, the primes were taking over, or like they're in control or whatever, and then Sentinel Prime is like an evil dude.
Yeah.
And then the Autobots or the Decepticons the Autobots want the same thing. They just have a different way of going about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Welcome to 6G Agenda. We're going to keep part of that for Patreon there.
Okay.
I'll start this off with a free feed. Welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, and whoa, I just cut out on my headphones. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Huh. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Dude, my headphones right as soon as I start. Okay, it's working again.
We're good?
These headphones are trash, and they're going to cut out randomly. I guarantee it.
Most likely.
Fuck! All right, I'll start again. You may have to cut that little spot out. Just a little spot. Cut it out. 3 minutes in. Welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, and I'm here again with my man, Justin Ward on the chords.
Yo.
And we talk about what they want. Dude, something is up.
Yeah, bro, your shit lagged for a minute.
We've been chilling in here for a minute, and as soon as we start, everything wants to cut out, bro. They don't want us talking about what they want, dude.
Dude, they're not letting us.
I'm getting sick of this shit.
They're trying.
So anyway.
They're fucking trying, that's for sure.
All right, Clunky started the show. It's okay, though. We're going to get it going for real this time. Because I'm just pissed because that was shitty. All right, welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, and I'm here with my man, Justin Ward, on the chords.
Yo.
And we talk about what they want. And welcome back. Any new listeners, thanks for chilling, listening, giving us love. We've been getting a lot of feedback. Appreciate your love, and hope you go check out the whole archive. We got plenty of good stuff. I've had people mention do the Bell Labs episode. We're gonna get into a nice, deeper Bell Labs deep dive, but we do have an episode on it, and that would be Silent Weapon 6. It was taken down for a little bit on Spotify. So maybe you didn't see it, but it is there. So definitely recommend going and checking that out. It does have a lower viewer count, so I imagine that that's why we're getting requests to do it, the Bell Labs episode, but it is in the archive. So Silent Weapon 6, and we got another one coming. It's going to be a Patreon episode, deep dive with the multiple labs that might be connected to this kind of building of the AI infrastructure connected to people, sentient AI.
Yeah.
That's been going since Bell Labs. A lot of national laboratories connected to the military that I've been uncovering, and it's going to be a good time. So we got that coming up soon.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I've got a lot of crazy current events going on right now, but I feel like, this is probably going to be coming out in a week. So maybe I'll wait until we do an episode that's a little like next day-ish.
Sure.
But I mean, hey, man, that Jeffrey Epstein and Trump shit is crazy. Have you been seeing the emails that came out?
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
I've only seen the one.
Mhm.
It was like I think you shared it on Facebook or Twitter or something.
Mhm.
The one who's like not saying anything is Trump. I don't remember the
Yes,
word
he said the dog that hasn't barked.
Yeah, that. Yep.
And then he instantly, like, ... the victim was in his room for hours with him, right? So instantly after that, incriminating him. Now, remember when I said that I don't think Hillary Clinton killed Epstein?
Yeah.
Well, these emails predate him getting arrested and killed in prison. And he's calling out Trump, dude. He's not, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like his enemies are Hillary Clinton. I'm just saying, dude.
It's not alluding
So
to that, yeah.
And what else did I say? Didn't I say that they kind of are gonna get Trump out probably before the end of his presidency one way or another, and what better way to do it than letting this shit out?
Yeah.
Not only that, but also, he's had, these secret MRIs. He's got a lot of health issues
Mhm.
allegedly. So, I don't know, they're building up to it, because he's done his job and gotten everything kinda built up, and now JD can come in and handle the rest of it.
Yeah, and he's able-bodied.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes, man. It's a little bit wild. Not that surprised when you think about it. Just looking at Trump and how he is in a objective light. I mean, come on. Of course he did some wild shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Look at
just
him.
saying.
Just look at watch one video of the guy.
The grab her by the pussy thing was crazy. There's a video where they were interviewing him about the grabbing her by the pussy thing, and they said, "Do people don't do that or whatever?" And he said, "Well, actually, the majority." How did he say it? I should pull up the video. He literally said, "Not all the time, but yes, I mean, great majority of the time, they did do that in history." Pretty much saying that like it is not abnormal to
He's like, "Actually,
grab a woman.
they do that."
He's like, "That's a normal thing." He's like, "You grab her by the what's the problem here?" "I
Yeah,
do
he
what I
was
want." It was crazy, like, the cognitive dissonance he had in that interview. He's
he's
like,
like,
"No, you."
what's the issue?"
Yeah, people do that. Very awesome, very awesome. Not awesome, but just crazy, and just looking back in hindsight, it's like, well, duh, this guy's I mean, he just got everybody all rallied up behind him under the whole "We're gonna save America" thing that
Mm,
it got everybody up in a tizzy and got them all, they aren't paying attention.
yeah, and then, like, more and more shit that comes out about the guy, the more and more people are, "Shut it up." They stop talking about it, they stop, like, openly supporting him.
Yeah, I mean, the shift to Christian nationalism has been working pretty well for the right, getting these socialist mayors into
Mhm,
office in Seattle and New York City. I
yeah,
mean, this is, it's building that tension with the split.
yep.
So, we'll see how it goes. A lot of stuff coming out with a lot of current event I mean, Charlie Kirk stuff, so we're gonna have to get a chill pod going soon,
I saw
and
I saw Charlie Kirk's face AI generated on Ice Spice's body, and it was the stupidest fucking I've been seeing so much Charlie Kirk AI shit.
Jesus,
It's
that's fucked
fucking
up.
ridiculous.
What the hell, dude? Well, something that is wild is I was looking at that Mike McCoy,
Yeah.
the guy with the phone and the hat that was, like, behind him, he's, like, his manager or whatever, and it showed the whole thing, right? I
Mm,
think I sent it to you just because I wanted to save it for later so we could talk about this, but just mentioning, as soon as Charlie Kirk was shot, this guy was behind him with the camera the whole time.
yeah.
As soon as he was shot, dude, he didn't stick around like, I'm talking about as soon as it hit him,
Yeah, he dips,
he
right?
didn't hit the ground until he was behind the Charlie didn't hit the ground, and this guy was behind the tent already.
Yeah.
And then he walked so here's the tent. He walks from this side of the tent to the other side, then all of a sudden you could see him right here
Mhm.
on camera again, and he's on the phone. Allegedly, he said he called Erica Kirk to tell her what happened as soon as it happened. He didn't even see what happened.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It seems like he was like it's more like, "Okay, it's done. I'm gonna go call."
Yeah,
That's
shit,
what
yeah.
it seems like. That's what I'm
Mhm.
getting at. So we're gonna get into that. We'll break down the video. There's a lot with that, but that is not the topic of this episode. Just a little bit of some teasers for what's coming up in our first
Right.
10-minute
Yeah.
segment. So, have you heard of the Monroe Institute?
Vaguely.
Okay. So Robert Monroe is a person who was, let's look at who he was. He is known for pioneering the work in the field of out of body experiences. I was trying to see what he was. I think he's a psychologist. Maybe he's into something else. Radio broadcaster. Oh, great. So there's a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
institute that's practically named after this guy. He founded the Monroe Institute, which continues to explore consciousness and OBEs, out of body experiences. So his book Journeys Out of the Body, it was published in 1971, popularized the term out of body experience and is considered a classic in the field. And so this is going to connect a lot into something called, I'll just pull it up.
Of course, his study started in the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. MK Ultra, dude, thank you. I mean, you already know that we're going to be bringing that angle into this. MK Ultra, the idea of outer body experiences. Remember the CIA documents that show you how to do astral projection.
Mm,
I said that I think that that connects to MK Ultra and the idea of connecting your consciousness to a synthetic eternity, essentially, which is what this is right here.
yeah.
Synthetic eternity, transferring human consciousness into digital entities for immortality.
Damn.
Dude, how crazy is this? The project aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of the future of digital immortality through interdisciplinary insights from neuroscience, AI, robotics, and philosophy. So that's what we're going to be getting into here. I think that again, started in the 50s to 71. This is MK Ultra prime time. You get
Mm-hmm.
the CIA documents that come out around this time about astral projection, trying to get people into this idea of outer body experience. And then what? This
Yeah.
idea of synthetic eternity comes out right around now. And I'll go ahead and show this to you. This is just a little teaser what we'll be getting into. Also, oh shit. Also, we have this. August 31st, 2025. Could we merge consciousness with AI to live forever?
This is dead ass like a major plot point in Cyberpunk, dude.
Science News Today right here. So, and yeah, Cyberpunk. I mean, they've been seeding the mind with this kind of
Mm-hmm.
concept for a long time. If you look at Cyberpunk, I believe that came out around the 70s to 90s period. The first concept of what that is, like Cyberpunk, the whole culture
Yeah, yeah.
grew in that era. And this is right after this idea, right? So, this merging of concepts has been going on for a minute. And here we are, dude.
Yeah.
So, this is going to be a great deep dive.
Yeah. Except in the game, you become like an AI construct, and then you live in like this prison, this like digital prison. It's called Makoshi.
That is reality, actually, they're telling you the truth.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to point out, dude.
Yeah.
They warned you what the truth is, but it's like, "Oh, that's cool," because kids that watch it or play it are like, they're not
Yeah.
thinking from the idea of, like, reality.
But when I'm playing the game, I'm like, yo, fuck that. I don't want to live
Yeah,
digitally. I
for
want to
real.
live physically, cuz.
Mhm. So before we break down how Robert Monroe gets into all this, for the free feed, we're gonna go ahead and break down the idea of this full deep dive into like synthetic eternity. We're gonna kind of overview it before we get into this document I found that explains all of it in detail, which is gonna be on our Patreon. Definitely check that out. This is gonna be a nice long clip for the free feed. You don't get an echo on your end, do you?
No.
Cool. It's just these headphones. I got the wired
Are
ones.
you
You know what I
echoing
mean?
in
I'm trying
your headphones?
just a small
Hmm.
little bit. So synthetic eternity. Digital immortality, mind transfer, and engineered souls. Synthetic Eternity is the modern project spread across corporations, governments, and black budget labs to transfer human consciousness into non-biological substrates.
Hmm.
AI, neural simulation, quantum computers, digital avatars, and biomechanical hybrids. That's what they're aiming for.
Wow.
Dude, that shit's like crazy because what we're gonna get into is like legitimate studies that they've done.
Yeah.
This is like not this isn't really like hyperbole anymore. And that's why we see like Science News Today
Mm-hmm.
that we'll get into with the whole article getting into what they've done study
Yeah.
wise.
And your avatar, you probably wouldn't even be able to customize that motherfucker.
No, dude. I mean,
You'd
you
have
would
to do some
imagine that
weird shit to be able to get a hat.
subscription shit, right? It
Yeah.
would be like, oh, you got to pay the premium, right? So like the elites, if they did this, would have the best life. It would be like,
Yeah,
what's that
dude.
called? Westworld?
Ain't that? Yeah, I think that's
I
what that
think it
is.
was called Westworld, and that's where the elites would go and kill people. You would be the people that are, like, repeating your life on a train or whatever every
Yeah,
day
dude.
that, like, gets killed by somebody,
Just keep spawning
and
in without socks.
you meet your real life wife in this theatrical version of life where you're old-time prairie, and shit like that, and then but it's your real life wife from, like,
Yeah,
before you
dude.
got plugged in, and so you have this back subconscious memory of the fact that you really do know this woman, but you keep, like, getting your mind erased, and then you
Mhm.
go and meet this woman in this theatrical version, and then you keep dying or, like, having some terrible thing happen every time you meet her. Dude, that is the definition of hell on earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds so crazy, dude. I mean, that's crazy. That's what they wanna do to people, I feel like. I mean, that
It's
is,
almost
like,
kinda like
not
what
far.
they did in Severance with dude.
Oh, dude, that is very close to that's exactly what they did in Severance.
Yeah.
But again, with the repeated kind of I feel like that's a game that they wanna play with people.
Yeah.
So the goal is simple, create a form of immortality where the person continues, but the body becomes irrelevant.
Mm.
It's not hypothetical or sci-fi, it's underway right now. And it has 3 roots: neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and esoteric metaphysics, which is the basis of all this, of course, as we talk about. And so synthetic eternity depends on a belief that consciousness is an information pattern, not a biological organ. And so harnessing this is and using it is kind of the same core idea behind DeepMind's AGI research, OpenAI's agentic cognition, and Neuralink's brain machine interfaces.
Mm.
And so they're trying to harness this and use it and be able to plug it in.
Yeah.
DARPA's N3 RAM and subnets program. You have the Human Brain Project with the EU, and also military interests like biological quantum cognitive persistence, which is something that the military practices. We're gonna have to get into that, dude. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what the
Quantum
fuck?
cognitive persistence.
Alright.
But what do I always say, dude? Quantum physics has nothing to do with the nuclear bomb, dude. It has everything to do with poking through the veil.
Mm.
Your source comes from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to that's what the quantum shit is. Spooky action at a distance, as Einstein called it.
Trying to cut through the curtain.
Yeah, dude, for sure. So they want to capture all neural signs, emotions, memories, sensory patterns, and internal thought loops. So that way they could map them, apply data, and kind of create a high resolution Neuralink BCI system or a non invasive neural frequency scanner or some quantum sensing and microtube vibrational uh like plug-in shit. This is like next level. EEG fusion. I don't even know like this is some deep scientific shit, bro. But they pretty much want to recreate your cognitive fingerprint. That's
Yeah.
what all this does.
Yeah.
Cognitive fingerprint. How does your brain work? We're mapping it out. I feel like they know more about the brain than they know about space or the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, it's more accessible to study.
Yes. So it's the raw data of your consciousness that they're trying to figure out, not necessarily the you in you,
Yeah.
right? Now, maybe they are because like they need to transfer that. But I mean, I think it's more like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get into all the deep dives of it because there's a whole document about how it works.
Mm.
So there's a software model that behaves like your mind. And this is the same approach that DeepMind and AlphaZero use, except it's applied to the inner human life. And so it includes memory architecture, personality vectors, emotional regulators, pattern recognition style, and decision making frameworks. So it's like a synthetic twin, essentially. So
Yeah.
they're mapping out how you work, and then they're putting a memory architecture, personal vector, all the things that are you, your tendencies to get pissed or whatever, your emotional regulators, all that shit.
An inorganic version of you.
Yeah. The way you make decisions, impulsivities, all that shit.
Mm.
And then they create a continuity loop, which is humans experiencing a unified self. So memory is continuous, identity is stable, and perception becomes linear. And if they can create that continuity digitally, your uploaded consciousness will feel like you,
So
right?
you wouldn't even be able to know the difference?
Right. So when you plug yourself in, it's a replicated version of the way that you operate in the real world. They try to like get it to where your digital consciousness operates the same way, but in
Mhm.
reality, it's just a programmed version of you, dude.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Would you be able to know the difference?
Not if it's done right. And so that's where it becomes hairy because you also wouldn't know if it was done so well, you wouldn't know the difference if it was done exactly like how you were.
Yeah.
Because by the time you were plugged in, essentially you would be so close to you, but a little different in ways that were controlled by them. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
like it'd be subtle.
Like, what if you're like, over time, your memories started, like, colliding, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And, like
Oh, yeah, with, like well, that's why they would try to make it as close to your real memory as possible, but they would keep certain things out of it and then
mm,
not expose you to those environments in the digital realm, which obviously that wouldn't happen anyway,
yeah.
you know? So think about it. What triggers a memory that you forgot about?
It's like a certain smell, something that triggers a sense.
Something environmental.
Yeah.
And so if you put somebody in a digital environment, you now there's no way that you're gonna have those
Yeah.
cross threads for the most part. You see
Because
what I'm
you're in a
saying? Because
senseless environment.
it's it's a exactly, and what senses you do perceive aren't really being perceived.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because it's in a digital it's fake
Right.
perception. Yeah, dude, that's
That's
deep. So
fucked.
you would never actually recapture memory that you lost, and you would
Mhm.
think you had your memories that you've always had, when in
Yeah.
reality, you might not.
That is so evil.
I know, dude. I mean, this is crazy. If they can recreate that continuity digitally, I mean, that's nuts. So this is the most dangerous step because continuity can be faked, as we just talked about. So you could be copied while believing you're the original. And so where will your consciousness actually live? These options are being explored. I think it'd be harnessed for energy. I think that's pretty fucking obvious. I think
Yeah.
that whatever the energy is that your consciousness creates, I think that will be harnessed inside of some kind of cloud, quantum neural substrate, or maybe like a digital astral plane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's more likely that they use it to like actually suck the energy out of it, like straight matrix shit. That we haven't even I don't even know what like what that would look like.
Yeah. So the question would be, where would our consciousness reside, right? On a fucking
Yes,
flash drive.
pretty much.
We'd
And
be a
remember the
file.
battery. Yes. Remember the battery part of Matrix?
Yeah. Yep.
This is you. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
This is you. I mean, dude, that's what we're talking about, dude. This is the basis of our show right here.
Look
I mean,
behind
dude,
us.
check out the Patreon for free or some shit, dude. You know what I mean? Get a little 7-day trial, bro, because this is worth it. Synthetic eternity is not just a scientific dream. It's heavily rooted in the ancient esoteric ideas that we get into on the show as well, like the Hermetic homunculus, which is really just the Kabbalistic golem, right, that
Mm.
we've talked about. The Egyptian Ba, Ka, soul splitting. If you've ever heard of Ba and Ka, we'll get into that sometime. It's the physical and the spiritual self.
Mm.
And also Tibetan transfer of consciousness. This has been a thing that's been studied for a long time. This is not a new thing. The Gnostic escape from the demiurge prison planet, material prison, which in
Mm.
reality, we're going to put ourselves in a recreation of that, a
Yeah.
digital one.
I'm gonna go from this one to another one.
And that one's going to be a real synthetic eternity.
Mhm.
That's fucked up. They literally name it what it's going to be, dude. That's why I'm like super hammering on this because, pardon me, synthetic eternity implies that you will never leave and your real organic self, your real spiritual consciousness is gone
Yeah.
and you will live synthetically for eternity. That is what that is as dark as it gets. That is the demiurge prison planet in a digital way that
Mhm.
you don't get out of. You don't have a Jesus save you from that.
And you'll be happy.
Perceptually happy once you're in it. Yes.
What did that dude
You'll be
say?
yes. You'll have all the feelings of happiness and not really know why or where they come from. Yes,
Yeah.
because you gotta think about that. I mean, it's not like you're really happy. You'll have all the feeling because you have forgotten what's important.
Mhm.
Your subconscious will no longer be there because you have a digital version of your conscious.
Yeah.
So, it's not like you're actually gonna be oh, man.
I
This
know
is
it may
fucked up.
not be necessarily related, but what did that dude say? Like, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the state of living that they're gonna have us live in before they plug us in.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, they may never even give us this because this is like next level technology that they may even save for people like Peter Thiel who want to live forever. But I argue he's going to be living in a digital hell
Mm,
if he takes this deal. Technologists are recreating the same project mystics tried to for 5,000 years: escape death by transferring the soul. The only difference is the Monroe Institute sought the natural path, and DeepMind and DARPA seek the synthetic path. And I think the Monroe Institute was teaching the natural path to prime you for the idea of the synthetic path
yeah.
because the natural path is not necessarily what it's cut out to be. If I'm being honest, I know a lot of people that listen to the show are like, this idea of this like new age manifestate, all that stuff is like the answer. And I get it. Christianity isn't necessarily the answer either. But there's probably more truth in that than there is in this idea of conscious connecting to everything.
Yeah.
Maybe to nature to an extent, of course, to creation, of course, but it doesn't hit this level of like hive mind for all that shit. I just don't go for that.
Mm,
Sorry. So he may have been teaching a natural path. It doesn't mean it was necessarily better than this digital one that they used his teachings to recreate.
yeah.
So we're about to get into that. So they're trying to break mortality, capture consciousness, and build a digital afterlife that they control.
Fuck.
So we're gonna get into all that right now. You guys go check out our Patreon. We're gonna get deep into it. I mean, yeah. Digital copy thinks it's you, but it's not the original awareness of you. It's a mirror with memories, a ghost in a hard drive. So let's fucking get into it.
Let's
So
do
you
it.
guys go check us out. Thank you again for everything. Go check out the description. Check out the show description. We have our Patreon link. We have also any donation links if you want to support the show in any way you feel like. You can also follow our handles, social medias. And please like, follow, rate, all the good stuff. Go hit all of our spots. We could use all the love we could get. And thank you very much. If you value the show, just go give us some love. We're doing this one pre-recorded. And yeah, we're gonna drop this 30-minute pre-show onto the free archive, and let's get into the Patreon
Hell yeah.
later. And hopefully you stayed and not later. Hell yeah. I don't beat on people the way the other podcasters do. Like, oh, fuck free feed losers. You know what I mean? Like, you guys get your ass in here. Let's go, you fucking loser.
Yeah,
I
nah.
just don't do that, bro. I ain't gonna do that to you. Hey, you want to miss out? You miss out. I offer the free 7-day trial. You could go fucking hammer all the stuff we
Mhm.
have that's on premium right now for in that 7 days and then cancel. If that's how you feel, do it. I don't care. I have a feeling that it's good stuff though, and you're gonna want to stick around.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's some good shit in the Patreon.
Me too. We're in it now. This is the beginning of the Patreon right here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dog.
I mean all that. You know what I mean? Like we could. That shit was done whenever I said bye. So this is now Patreon.
Yeah, this is Paige.
And Patreon, we just fucking uncut. It's uncut. You know, straight in it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you guys had the beginning where we were talking about what were we talking about pre-show? We're gonna leave the pre-show shit in here.
Fuck. I was talking about something about Transformers
Yeah,
Atlas.
dude. Yeah, yeah. And again, with this whole idea, like think about it. Transformers even gets into what we're talking about. This idea of in the beginning, there was these god kings, spiritual god kings that understood hermetic law and how to mess with nature and everything else. And now it's evolving into this idea of merging with the fallen angels technology into machine. And that's
Mm,
exactly what the Transformers already are. It's this idea of that already put together in a way.
yeah. Transformers are fucking dope.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. All these what would you call them? These themes just permeate all the stuff we like.
Mhm.
We see every day. So all right, Patreon members, we are about to get deep into what we already started talking about. That was just a little tidbit, dude. That was nothing. What I just gave, that sounds like we were just hammering shit, dude. That was nothing. You guys ready? Let's go.
Do it.
So Robert Monroe, he had the science of consciousness we talked about at the beginning. 1915, 1995 is when he lived. And he was not just a mystic, he also treated altered states as repeatable experiments. And so again, I think they use these as experiments in the CIA, DARPA, everything else. Through his Monroe Institute, he used a controlled audio frequency called binaural beats.
Mm.
Again, that's connected with the Stephen Greer shit in the UFOs.
Hear that shit
You
going
listen to
in.
binaural beats and yeah, dude. They listen to binaural beats and then they contact aliens. Who you really contacted? Come on now.
Through the
Get out of here.
frequencies.
Quit fucking lying. And isolation to induce focus levels with the binaural beats. There's also measurable states of consciousness distinct from waking, dreaming, and sleep that he discovered. And he claimed consciousness could detach from the physical body, aka astral projection,
Mm.
aka this is how they plug you in, travel to non local dimensions of existence, which is the CIA documents of all the latitude, longitude places of different bases that
Yeah.
people have heard about. They can interact with other intelligences and data fields. That would be the ufology movement, and return with verifiable information. I don't know, but I mean, sure, because since back in the day, they always said that demons could tell you truths that nobody else could tell you.
Yeah.
And then you come back with verifiable information. So what are we talking about here?
Dude,
Let's
I
be
don't.
honest, dude.
What are they doing when they go to these locations?
I mean, so they're like, go to latitude, longitude, 33 degrees and 30 something degrees, right? And then
Yeah.
go there on 11/22/1963 or 67. I can't remember. And
They're
then they
just
get there and then
literally.
they're like, oh, I see JFK getting shot in the head. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, dude, dude, they give the latitude, longitude for Dealey Plaza, and they tell them go there on the date of November 22nd, 1967, or I think that's when he got shot, or 69. And then they say,
They're like, oh
"Oh,
yeah, I see him. I see him getting
I see a
shot.
car." Yeah, yeah, because they don't know what they're going to see. They just know that they're going to the place they were told.
Yeah.
They go there and they're like, "Okay, what am I gonna find?" They get there and they're like, "Oh, I see a car. I see a crowd. Oh, 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 he just got his head blown off. Oh, that's JFK. Yep, okay, I see what you're showing me now." And then they could be like, "There was 3 shooters." You know what I'm saying? They could see how many shooters there really were. Alright, so anyway. Sorry,
I'm not buying this shit at all, dude.
we're having a good time, dude. That's a good time, bro. I mean, for dude, allegedly, there's people that astral projected to fucking the Mars like a million years ago, and there was somebody waiting on a spaceship or some kind of like place on the moon of Mars waiting for people to come back and bring them somewhere. And
Okay.
this is supposed to add credence to the idea that we were seeded by Mars.
Okay. Like it sounds
It's all
interesting,
bullshit.
so I'll fucking
No, but
I'll
dude, our
entertain it. But yeah,
movement,
dude, I'm not
our
buying that shit at
conspiracy,
all.
no, me either, dude. The conspiracy movement is very big on this concept of what I'm talking about, and I don't. We're one of the few shows that just don't. We just don't go for that. So I'm offering a different conceptual idea argument of what's really going on by
Yeah.
looking at people like Robert Monroe and what he said that the body could do, and look at it from a different concept of spiritual, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not literal entities, and these entities could be fucking with our heads, acting like an alien on Mars. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Some weird shit like that, right? Anyway, so I don't know, man. They're known as the tricksters, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I could be a fool.
Hmm. So the idea of synthetic eternity, transferring human consciousness into digital entities for immortality, relies on the same core premises as what he talked about: consciousness and informational process that can be separated from the body. Monroe reached that through experimental and metaphysical means. Modern transhumanists try to reach it through neuroscience and computational means. Both are exploring the same boundary. Where does consciousness reside and can it be relocated?
Hmm.
So, the bridge between them. Monroe's experiments were based on the idea that frequency entrains consciousness. Sounds could modulate brainwave patterns to shift awareness. Modern research, looks into brain interface, like BCIs,
Mhm.
with computers, neural frequency stimulation, and consciousness mapping, like EEGs, MEGs, fMRIs. It is essentially an electrical method of achieving what Monroe did acoustically and physically.
Hmm.
So, if the Monroe model saw the soul as a field of coherent vibrational data, we are now taking that vibrational coherent data and trying to translate it into a binary code.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And then when I read that, this reminded me of what is that guy's name? I forgot what it was called, but the dude that's doing the DNA with the dogs, with the dire wolves.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember his name.
He took DNA and he encoded something into the DNA by taking the DNA code, putting it into a file hard drive, like a flash drive.
Yeah.
He edited the code. Then he put it back into the DNA, and the DNA had the code inside of it, bro.
Dude, that's fucked.
Yeah, and so that's exactly what we're talking about, though, is like this idea of taking your consciousness and doing the same thing.
Mhm.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Playing God with a flash drive. You got a flash drive people on there.
Yeah, whoever would have thought a thumb drive would be the thing
The
that,
keeper.
like,
That's like the thing
yeah, I
of the
mean, what
people,
the
bro.
keeper, yeah, the keeper of souls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the satchel the Grim Reaper carries around.
That's what it
And
is,
so,
dude.
yeah,
It's
that's
a
awesome.
nuclear fucking briefcase now.
Yeah, pretty
Football.
much. Yeah. So Monroe's view implied the consciousness was eternal and independent of technology, and the soul already is immortal. And you just learn to navigate the realm consciously. And this could have credence and truth to it. I'm not fully against that idea, but I think that that idea is being used and weaponized to then turn it digitally. So that's why I'm weary of that idea. But synthetic immortality is like non arguable bad. And it assumes the immortality that you have and engineers it into this data preservation, like, digital version.
Yeah.
And I think that that is super fucked. So natural transcendence could be legit, but this artificial transcendence that they're pushing comes from the concept of natural transcendence, which lays credence to why I am very weary of these ideas.
Mm.
So I'm not like dogmatic. I don't have, this could be real, dude. Like, you could do some mushrooms and talk to Lady Gaia and legit like have great spiritual experiences, but
Yeah.
they're weaponizing that concept is what I'm arguing. And I'm trying to hammer that home and make people really understand that. Cause
Yeah.
just like they're taking Christianity, which may have real truths to it, and they're weaponizing it for Christian nationalism. There we go. Same thing.
Yep.
Just want to lay out how I really feel. Cause sometimes people listen to stuff and they really don't get what you're actually saying,
Yeah.
We don't necessarily try to tell people what to think. We're exploring ideas of what could be going on and saying, is this legit? Is this possible?
Right.
I don't know. Let's find out. Like, I'm not going to, by the end of this, be able to say for sure 100% anything, but it's worth exploring these ideas. So, the military, industrial, and intelligence connection to all this. The Monroe Institute collaborated with the US Army and the CIA. Project Center Lane and Gateway process. The gateway.
Mm.
The fucking shit with the astral projection.
Yeah.
And what and also Stargate. And what is Trump calling this shit now? Stargate,
Yeah.
right? Dude, I'm telling you, I think we're getting to the core of it here. I just said that we don't know everything, but I really do think we're getting there. I just took all that time to say that to be like, listen, actually, I think everything we're saying is
Look, we
100%
don't
true.
know shit, but at the same time, we
This
know
is real.
everything.
Yeah, just kidding. Documents describe techniques to project consciousness beyond space-time, and their stated goal was non-local perception, information retrieval, and influence, as we talked about earlier. And now we can compare that to DARPA, Google DeepMind, and OpenAI's current work with neural emulation, synthetic agents, and quantum models of consciousness. Both are funded and directed by entities seeking control over perception and the continuity of self. And the ultimate intelligence weapon is your memory and your consciousness.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. But these are being funded by these DARPA entities and people like that, and that's why we gotta really be weary of what we're doing here, because the wrong people have the right information and are weaponizing it against you.
Mm,
So the fork in the path of the human evolution is what we're in right now. One path is the organic spiritual mastery of consciousness, which is probably possible. And the other is the synthetic eternity, the artificial coded mimicry of mastery of consciousness.
yeah.
And the danger is that digital immortality may create synthetic souls and get rid of your legitimate one. And then now you got like digital demons that could appear. I mean, dude, it gets really hairy. I mean, who knows what the fuck we're doing? Because you're mixing this spiritual and synthetic life together. And it
Yeah.
just, we can't say what that looks like.
The blend would be crazy.
The blend's crazy.
Fuck.
So, deep mind, what is deep mind? It is one of the most important and least understood players of this global AI landscape. So, it's an artificial intelligence company owned by Google, well, Google's parent company, Alphabet. But beneath that, it's essentially like a scientific and metaphysical experiment to attempt to create synthetic consciousness that can learn, reason, and potentially transcend human limits. So you may have heard about these deep mind and all these different things where
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to make these things smarter than us, you know? It's really that they're trying to create technology that can match our conscious power.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Can't because it can't harness our consciousness and recreate it if it's not as strong as our consciousness.
Right.
So we gotta start looking at this from a different light, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because they sell it to us as like, we're just trying to create technology that can like do cool shit, like and be just like us, and we're creating life. No, 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 no. You're trying to create a digital life that you could plug yourself into and that can harness yours. And that's
Yeah.
why you need quantum computing mixed with AI. Because quantum is where your brain thinks.
Mm-hmm.
You think on a quantum level. You have to have computing that can do that too, or therefore you couldn't recreate what we live in. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. You know? Whoo! This shit gets your boy going,
Bro,
man.
when
This
you
shit's
think about
crazy.
it and like visualize some of these things, what it would look like procedures or aftermath, whatever, it really fucking gets to you sometimes, especially if you've kind of already had hints at it in like Hollywood in like games or whatever.
Yeah.
The visualization sucks.
It's freaky.
It is.
Yeah, yeah, it could get yeah, because you've seen yeah, it's because it's cool whenever it's just like, "Oh, it's, fake," you know?
Yeah.
But whenever you start to think like, "Oh, there's the people are thinking about this game because they're actually trying to do this."
Mhm.
That's when shit gets real weird, you know? Whenever it's like, "Oh, wait, yeah, they've only thought about this because there is actually a push to do it."
Yeah, there's been taken they've taken real inspiration like off of existing things.
Yes,
And it's just their
exactly.
subtle way of showing that, hey, this is kind of what's happening.
And we gotta remember cybernetics, cyberpunk, Nick Land being in cybernetics and being super, super deep into the occult and like talking to demons and all this shit, right? And cybernetics is the idea of connecting us to technology. So it all runs into that same kind of depth.
Yeah.
So the mission statement is to yeah, we talked about that. Build artificial general intelligence, a system capable of human level reasoning and creativity. So AlphaGo beat the world champion Go player, a task thought impossible for decades. I'm sure you've heard about that by now.
Mm,
And then you had in 2020, it solved a 50-year protein folding program problem. I guess it mapped biological structures with superhuman accuracy. 2018, AlphaZero learned chess, Go, and shogi from scratch with no human guidance. And then in 2023, Gemini, their latest AI system designed to integrate reasoning, vision, and planning at a meta level. And they haven't, I don't know if they finished that one,
mm,
but it's modeled on the neural structure of the brain. This is not like, this is what we are just talking about.
yeah.
Reinforced learning, neural Turing machines, and Turing, like the Turing idea is the Turing test, right? Like,
Mm,
is it on a conscious level of a human,
yeah.
capable of storing and recalling information dynamically and like a digital working memory?
Mm.
So they're not just training these computers to process shit. Like I said, they're training them to be able to harness our essence.
Yeah.
So DeepMind's co-founders have said openly in interviews that the brain is the best example of a general intelligence we have, so we're trying to reverse engineer it. In other words, they're mapping human cognition into machine form. As I said, quantum computing, neurosymbolic integration, and consciousness modeling is all the ways that those are like their staple points of activity.
Yeah.
So the goal is to build a substrate where awareness itself could operate digitally. Now, substrate, what is substrate? That word. Well, substrate is like something that, you put into like a lizard's cage, right? And then you put some substrate in there and it's like this natural shit from the ground, and it kind of gives this natural because it gives life an effective life, right?
Sure.
And, as I make up this version of what substrate means, we can get the actual definition too. So, but, but,
It's
no,
just
like that's like what my mind comes to, but it's a surface or material or form which an organism lives, grows, or obtains nourishment, which is kind of what I was describing. And that's what you get into like a lizard's cage. But what I'm saying is, they're making a substrate for your fucking brain to go into, your
Mhm.
consciousness. That's scary, dude. That word substrate is like not something to take lightly.
Yeah.
So, this all crosses with the Monroe's work. That's why I wanted to bring up this idea of outer body experience because it gets deep with this. Now, what's
Mhm.
really funny is I was getting into this idea of a synthetic eternity in this study into plugging the mind in, right? And Outside Minds, Stilo Free kind of hit me up for the next episode. And he asked me, he's like, "Do you know who Robert Monroe is?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've actually heard of him." And then I looked at him just to revamp my memory for a minute because I've heard of
Mhm.
the Monroe Institute, but forgot what it is. Oh, dude. And I had been reading about this shit. And I'm like, wait a minute. Dude, you just gave me a piece of this that I didn't even know I needed until you gave it to me, and it's while I'm reading about this other thing. I
Yeah.
was like, so now it, like, gives me this full, picture of what's actually going on.
Mhm.
That tends to happen while we're researching. I feel like the hand of something is guiding us in this journey on this
Yeah,
show. I
dude.
really do. I really do. It's very weird. So whatever, we're doing our thing. Our purpose is being reached, and we're doing our thing. So the mind behind the machine. This is where deep mind work overlaps with the esoteric and consciousness research. Let's get into this esoteric idea of the deep mind. Their systems increasingly are self optimizing and exhibit emergent reasoning. Their models show signs of metacognition, which means they're getting close to that Turing level of cognition. And they're studying how awareness could emerge from complex networks. This leads to the ultimate question, though. If consciousness is an information process, could DeepMind's architecture one day house that?
Mhm.
And that's what they're trying to do. Can consciousness exist independent of its organic substrate? DeepMind's answer is yes, and they can build it. And that is what they're currently going for.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though, and this is what we're getting at. If a private or state aligned entity like Palantir, DeepMind, Alphabet, Google, right?
Yeah.
And they're aligned with the government, but they're private entities. So they're doing things that the government can't do privately, right? So like things like MK Ultra, like were illegal to do because the government was doing it. They're doing a lot of this stuff with private corporations. So we do live in a fascist state because the definition of that is private entities working hand in hand with the government.
Mhm.
We live in that right now. And so synthetic consciousness being formed before society understands it effectively gives the ownership of the next evolution of consciousness over to these private and state aligned entities.
Yeah.
In other words, the entity controls the communication, perception, science, and the civilization's decision making infrastructure of the future.
Mhm.
And so DeepMind is positioned at the center of this, working with Alphabet. And essentially, it'll be the first to build God or something close to it and put us in there, dude. And I just think that we need to really educate ourselves on what the fuck we're putting ourselves into before we do. Because
They
yeah,
building that motherfucker.
And they're gonna own your version of your consciousness in the future because they're gonna program certain memories out of it, and you wouldn't even know,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, it's crazy. So, let's show some of these receipts, and we
Get
can
it.
get into that. So we got this is what kicked it off for your boy, this post right here. This paper, Synthetic Eternity, Transferring Human Consciousness into Digital Entities for Immortality. It explores the scientific, philosophical, and ethical dimensions of mind uploading, moving human consciousness into digital form. And it compares two main methods, scan and copy, which digitally reconstructs the brain after destructive scanning, uh, and then also gradual neural replacement, which uses adaptive synthetic neurons to preserve consciousness step by step. The author proposes a measurable model called the Digital Consciousness Fidelity Index. This would test how faithfully an uploaded mind retains identity and emotion. And it presents a fictional case study of a man named Arun who achieves partial success by experiences emotional detachment and legal ambiguity. So it kind of gets into this whole abstract.
Hmm.
The paper examines whether human consciousness could ever be moved into a digital form, essentially creating a mind upload. And
Damn.
so, yeah, humanity's age-old search for immortality now meets modern neuroscience and AI.
Oh wow, look
Paper
at
frame.
this scan and copy.
Yeah, scan and copy. That's the first one that it goes into. The
Yeah.
paper. Where is it at?
There at
High
the top.
resolution brain scanning. So it scans functional modeling. It turns the map into a working code, and then interactive hosting. It runs the mind model in a digital or robotic body. So this is existing in projects like Flywire, Microns, and it shows early success in mapping smaller brains, but huge gaps remain.
Whoa. Yeah, look at this. The two competing approaches.
Yeah, scan and copy involves fully scanning the brain, destroying it in the process.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Recreates it digitally via advanced images and simulation. It destroys your brain in the process,
Yeah,
dude.
that's fucked.
Major issues, even if it is identical, is the copy you were just a replica. That's what we went into. Gradual neural replacement replaces neurons one by one with adaptive synthetic neurons that mimic biology in real time. It could preserve continuous consciousness, but it still faces issues of immune rejection, biocompatibility, and slow loss of self.
Yeah, of
How are
course.
they going to figure out if this works if it destroys your brain when you do it? So, how many people are you going to fucking kill to do
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
So, this is going to lead into something that Harvey sent me, which talks about. I'll just hint at it. There's a whole deep dive I'm trying to get into about Neuralink because there's a lot of Neuralink testing facilities. They're near ICE detention centers and also prisons. And there's
Mm-hmm.
been some alleged stories of people like going missing and then getting fucking brain damage or like fully damaged.
That's exactly
That's
what I was gonna think. Like, who are they probably using for these
who's
subjects?
testing exactly who's testing it and who's doing it. And I
Yep.
think, yeah, dude. And they're trying to keep that real hush hush with Elon for sure.
People they've nabbed up and shit, and people that aren't gonna see the light of day again in their lives. So they're like, "Fuck them. We'll just experiment on 'em, make them a lab
And these are
rat."
undocumented illegals. These are perfect test subjects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got undocumented illegal, you go and do that shit. I mean, that's crazy, man.
Yep.
So consciousness and qualia notes the hard problem of explaining subjective experiences. Integrated information theory and global workspace theory, but admits no consensus. Proposes a hybrid test combining behavioral and connectome fidelity metrics to detect real awareness. Critics argue consciousness needs a body. Um, hmm. Yeah, so it gets into neuroscience and connectomics, which is the
Wow.
map every neuron in synapse. Hmm.
Huh.
Artificial intelligence and computational modeling. AI interprets huge brain data sets and simulates neural activity, introduces adaptive. So, this is the point of, dude, this is the point of the chatbots. This is the point of AI. All it does is it takes from data and then like apply. I mean, dude, it really is doing all this. It could
Yeah.
totally do it with the brain. Wow.
Dude, we're definitely like we're gonna be turned into exe files. When they want to
Should
turn us
digital
on, they're gonna be able to execute our file, and we're gonna download.
this worries me right here. Should digital copies of human rights have human rights if they think and feel? So as soon as you load yourself in, will you have human rights?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna treat you as
Proposes a
something different.
digital exactly, you're not even human anymore. You don't have creator endowed rights because your creator is now the person who created that simulation.
Yeah, and they're
Holy
gonna
shit.
they're gonna look at people like, "Oh, are you real or are you a copy?"
Mhm. Yeah, so they'll say you have creator endowed rights, which the creator gets to pick, and that's gonna be whatever they decide.
What the fuck?
Mind uploading could deepen class divides, creating digital immortals. Duh. Ethics for terminal patients or animals. Suggest digital ethics councils on the UN working group. Uh, the scoring system of quantify how faithful an upload is to the original mind. So they want to get a scoring system to see if it's actually real, and legit. A fictional proof of concept showing the human side. The results are strong continuity, yet emotional delay and family alienation persists. The court later grants Irun legal personhood under a Digital Personhood Act in 2050. This is all theoretical if it did go forward.
Mhm.
This case highlights unresolved gaps between technical success and human acceptance. Digital personhood charter would need to establish rights and moral status, consent registries, and digital wills. I say fuck all this and we just don't do it.
Wait, so scroll back up. It says the timeline there. Blooper.
Mm.
Yeah, legal
Oh, oh,
timeline.
oh. So they're saying that under this timeline, most likely it would take this long to actually get things going. So
Yeah.
if right now in 2025 they kick this off, they're saying by 2040 it would take that long for laws for partial uploads.
Yeah.
By 2050, rights for full uploads. By 2060, integration into society. Oh, I see what they're saying. So they're
And
saying that if
then
they try, okay, never mind.
well, yeah, and then it says 2025 to 2030 foundation/map animal brains develop synthetic neurons, create consent
Wow,
registries to then 2030 to 2040. That's when they want to start the human trials, but you could argue that they've already started the human trial.
1,000%. Right now, we're on the part where they're definitely doing the synthetic neuron mapping and creating
Yes.
holy shit. So, this is
Transfer
actually a
prototypes slash
timeline of
full
right
brain
now.
simulations in 2040 to 2050. Aren't they doing that shit now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that this is a outward timeline of what's going on. Wow, this is crazy. So, just like chatbots were around 10 years ago, and now we're using them outwardly,
Yeah.
as you're pointing out, human trials, partial uploads are already going on. It's 2025. Probably some transfer prototypes even are going on right now, which is 2040 to 2050 on this timeline.
Hmm.
So it is actually right on schedule. Holy shit,
Just a
dude.
couple of things have been expedited.
Hmm. So the main takeaways, and this is in a paper, and they're just retyping all this, by the way. This is in a real study paper, and I'll bring that up too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Main takeaways: DCFI and adaptive synthetic neurons provide testable tools for continuity. Ethical and legal planning is vital as engineering. Collaboration across neuroscience, AI, and governance is crucial. And remaining questions are: can machines ever feel? Will uploads truly preserve the same identity? And how can data consent and equality be maintained at scale? I argue it won't be, it can't be, and that's not the point of it. So this is the actual paper here. Transferring human consciousness entities. This is the independent student researcher, April 2025 from I gotta see where the paper came from. Hold on. Yeah, but that shit is nuts, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, it's a speculative yet
Rinnow?
scientifically
Rinnow?
informed thesis. It explores the feasibility mechanisms and implications of mind uploading from somebody who's probably around this kind of technology and can understand what they're talking about. You know what I mean? It's probably somebody who's in neuroscience and tech. Um, Quest for immortality. What does science say? This is Psychology Today. Scientists exploring gene editing, cellular rejuvenation as pathways. AI and nanotech could play a crucial role in achieving biological immortality. Ethical concerns arise as the pursuit of immortality may exacerbate societal inequalities. Dude, this is legitimately going on, dude. This is all that they focus on. Let's see. The
Yeah,
role
what
of
the
artificial
fuck?
intelligence in nanotech. While biological research is crucial, some scientists believe that a key to immortality may lie in AI and nanotech. AI is already revolutionizing medicine by enabling personalized treatments and drug discovery. We've talked about the customizable AI vaccines. In the future, AI could be used to monitor and maintain our health. That's the wearables.
Mm-hmm.
AI could assist in brain computer interfaces, potentially allowing us to upload our consciousness to a digital medium. By the way, the wearables, the point of that is to create the data that they need so that they could then create an immortal self. Because those wearables really are just studying your whole body.
Yeah.
And they're telling you it's like, oh, we just want to catch something before it's life threatening. Yeah, okay. Um, Nanotech holds promise for extending human life by developing nanoscale machines capable of repairing cellular damage at the molecular level, dude. This is the nanotech shit where they, oh my God, the self organizing fucking little nanotech bots that are in people's bodies already, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Nanobots could be programmed to patrol the body, identifying and repairing damage before. Holy shit, dude. They're already, dude, this is crazy. The scientific this is like the digital pill and shit, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you remember the bug that they put inside the mechanical bug in the Matrix that they put inside of Neo? And he was like,
Yeah.
"Ah," you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It Yeah, dude, that's like what this makes me think of because it's not all used for good. Um, the current state, despite the advances in anti-aging, true immortality remains elusive. Yeah, but what you just described could really help. I mean, the working on cells on a nano level.
Mm.
This doesn't even have to do with plugging in. Let's look at that. Could we merge consciousness with AI to live forever? This is 2 months ago. The
Goddamn.
science of the brain. We gotta get the rise of. Here we go. The human brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons, each connected to the thousands of others, forming trillions of connections. These connections and the electrical patterns that flow through them are believed to give rise to memory, personality, and thought. If all of these could be mapped and simulated, a computer could, in theory, replicate your consciousness. The scale of this challenge is staggering. That's what the data centers are for, I argue. Scanning the brain is such a resolution would require technology far beyond what exists today. That's why we have billions of dollars going towards Project Stargate. um, Still, advances in neuroscience are moving us closer. Brain computer interfaces already allow paralyzed individuals to control robotic limbs with their thoughts. Artificial neural networks inspired by the brain powers much of today's AI. These are clear steps on the path towards deeper integration. Hmm. Um. Okay. Are exploring ways to repair cells, reverse aging, and rejuvenate organs. Perhaps the future will not require abandoning our biology, but enhancing it. That's what we just read on the other article.
Mm.
Um, could we merge human consciousness? The answer is now is
Nah.
unknown. The science is young. The mystery is deep. The challenge is immense. Yet the dream is powerful. Okay, come on. It really gave us nothing about like. I mean, it was just going over like the ethical ideas, the cosmic perspective. What does that have to do with anything? Humanity is a young species standing on the edge of a vast time. Stars are born, galaxies collide, the universe itself expands towards a distant future. The dream of digital immortality may be humanity's attempt to align itself with cosmic time, to refuse the silence of death in a universe that continues without us.
Mm-hmm.
If the consciousness could merge, you see, this is literally, it's talking about time, cosmic. That's Saturn. Saturn's the god of time. We want to beat Saturn, beat the demiurge Gnostic digital prison. We want to
Yeah.
get out of it, or we want to get out of this prison planet and get into this digital version. Hmm. Well. There is some psychos at work today, and they got
Yo.
endless funding and they got endless fucking ideas. I'll tell you that.
So on your synthetic eternity study, that it said Ren AI, is that what it said at the top?
Ren Al.
Ren Al. Okay.
Maybe it
Well,
is Ren AI. They're using AI case studies.
it
You think
says
they do that
Ren A.
now?
Well, I was if it's AI, then it's just like a fucking software to
Yeah.
like help you rewrite shit. But if it's Ren Al, shout out Ren Al.
Shout out Ren Now. I think it's Ren AI, but who knows? I don't know. It could be. So yeah, here we are. That was most of it. This is a little bit of a shorter Patreon. Let me see if I got something else going on here. All right, well, I kind of do. And this has kind of got to do with some of this as well. I don't know exactly what the angle is here. I don't really want to get too deep into this, but we'll go over a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning of Trump's presidency, Elon had a buddy who Trump nominated to be head of NASA. He ended up not becoming head of NASA, and now he is. And there's something called the Project Athena, which is this idea of NASA like redoing how it does everything. It's a closed document prepared for senior leadership, but it's been leaked. And the idea is to restructure NASA to operate more commercially with fewer bureaucratic layers. So, in other words, less regulation.
Yeah.
So, they want to go gloves off, let's fucking go, dude. You know what I mean? It recommends moving away from the monolithic cost plus programs towards the frequent lower cost missions, for example. Missions, and if you, they just want to use less money toward, yeah. Science as a service and increased reliance. No, there was something else though involved in this about going to Mars and like they're just on this fucking Mars kick. That's what I was gonna get at.
Yeah.
But what are they, I just wonder because they're talking about move. Oh, that's what it was. They're talking about moving over towards nuclear technology, anti-gravitational nuclear technology. This is the deep state technology, the underground technology that they're starting to finally creep up into NASA and make it more normal. And
Yeah.
it's coinciding with this disclosure movement that's going on now with this new movie that came out about disclosure of all these, uh, these UFO craft and technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's all going to coincide with the idea that like, oh, we just reverse engineered whatever the fuck was flying around, like that kind of shit. I
Yeah.
think it's coming, dude. This disclosure and this new world of new tech is really rolling out in all angles, is what I was going to get at with that. So it's not just with the consciousness, it's going to be on every level.
This is gonna be one of them technologies that they roll out and say it's brand new, but they've really had it for years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Like since the 40s.
Yeah.
100%. Fuck yeah. Yeah, dude. This has been a little bit of a short Patreon episode. We got another one coming out this week, so no worries, no worries. We got another one coming out. It's gonna be a banger, maybe hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll keep the
And yeah, be
Patreon
on
fed this week.
fuck yeah, yeah. We're trying to go hard with the page. So we got you guys, okay? The free feed's gonna be a little light. So we can focus on you guys as well. And I mean, we're still gonna have banger episodes on the free feed, but it's a lot to maintain. So we're gonna do it on here, try to draw some more people to hang out
Oh
and
yeah.
come to the Patreon. So
Tell your friends.
tell your friends, tell everybody. Thank you very much, Jenny the Alchemist, for the comments on the last post. I appreciate you. You've been a A1 day one.
Shout out.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody else who joined. Very, very much appreciate you. And yeah, we're coming with bangers. I hope you enjoyed this. This is kind of the basis of the show right here. So I'm sure we'll get into this another time as well. All right, this has been another episode. We'll see you all later. Peace.